Tonight on CTV News at 5.
But it's not just important to make gains, it's important to gain a foothold.
Leveling the playing field, women's sports score big with players and fans.
Marigolds are my favorite to help deter bad insects.
Flower Power, the garden guide sheds light on beneficial plants.
I'm so sorry that I live as a way.
His lasting legacy, the late, great Bruce Guthro takes his place in the Cape Breton Music Hall of Fame.
You've probably noticed the higher humidity, and it's going to be sticking around for Friday.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, growing her game. Women's sport is experiencing a boom when it comes to participation for players and for spectators. CTV's Ryan McDonald looked into what's behind the skyrocketing popularity and the challenges to keep up with the demand.
Maria, just a few kilometers up the road, the new home for women's hockey out at Cape Breton University is set to open next season, giving women and girls a place of their own to play. Still, stakeholders say that elsewhere in the country, it's about time that infrastructure catches up to interest. The Halifax Tides are less than 2 months into their first season in a brand new professional women's soccer league in a country where women's and girls' sports are reaching new highs.
I'm not surprised by it. I feel like it's about time.
Kylie Norcus plays fullback for the Tides. She says growing up playing the game in California, she and other girls did not lack an opportunity compared to the boys, but says that changed a bit when she tried to turn pro.
Like, I had to really grind to find connections and take okay, I'm going to take this flight to Spain and hopefully this is a real trial and not like a weird situation when I feel like a lot of men had legit agents.
Now, a new national survey presented this week at the ESPNW Summit Canada in Toronto has found that 60% of Canadians believe perceptions of women's sport have improved over the past 3 years, and that 41% see women's sports as a national investment. And since the Professional Women's Hockey League was founded 2 years ago, there has been a 45% increase in female hockey registration nationwide.
But it's not just important to make gains, it's important to gain a foothold.
The president of Cape Breton Blizzard Female Hockey in Cape Breton says it's about time that infrastructure catches up to interest.
So much of this growth in women's sport is a claiming of public space by women. It's a really large global movement that's happening.
At last month's Cabot Trail Relay Race, an all-women's team with an ironic name, the Boys, broke the female team course record by 35 minutes.
So it seems like every single year, more all-women's teams are applying.
Back on the pitch in Halifax, Kylie Norcus of the Tides is optimistic that young girls who come to their games won't have the same kinds of struggles for legitimacy that she did.
We have girls in the league, even in Calgary and stuff, that just graduated high school and are going pro already. So that itself is a huge step.
And Christina Lamy adds that in recent years, women and girls hockey numbers here in Cape Breton have seen growth by more than 300%.
Wow,
Maria?
That's astounding. Thank you, Ryan. CTV's Ryan McDonald for us in Sydney this evening. Good to see that growth for sure. All right, let's turn things over to Todd Battis, who's standing by with a look at the headlines.
Hi, Maria. At 6 o'clock tonight, a reward is being offered for information about the 2 young children who disappeared from their Nova Scotia home at the beginning of May, almost 7 weeks now. Investigators are hoping up to $150,000 will lead to information that leads to the return of Lily and Jack Sullivan. We will have details about all this. Callum Smith at 6 o'clock. The long-awaited opening of an expanded discount food store in the Dartmouth area was met with, as you see there, very long lines today. Well, the founders of Gateway Meat Market say the new store is meant to make room for increased demand of affordable food. We'll have a bit of a tour when you join us at 6. That is riding high in the saddle, a special guest, an unusual one, at a high school graduation in St. John today. Kinsey Simmons had dreamed about getting her deployment with her best friend at her side. Well, she certainly did that. And Nick Moore was there to see it all. He'll bring us the story at 6 o'clock. Caleb Mitchell bring us some muggy weather details.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw some fog in the background there of St. John just as we were looking at the preview of that story. And that was one form that humidity was taking around the region today. coastal areas around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. Very cloudy today, a little bit cooler, and with that fog lurking just off the coastline, it'll be moving back in as we head through this evening and tonight. Now, other parts of the Maritimes stay sheltered a little bit out of that coastal wind, and where the sun shone through a little bit, well, temperatures came up towards the mid-20s, and humidity was a factor. So taking a look at humidex values right now, there's a number of locations that are actually feeling into the low 30s with the combination of warmth and humidity. It would have been even higher today if the sun had shone through a little bit more. There is a high level of moisture in the air right now. Dew point temperatures running up towards the high teens and the low 20s. That's typically the level that many of us start to find the situation a little bit sticky. One of the reasons for that was we're still in this southerly wind, and it's still going to be around as we move through this evening and tonight. A lot of cloud cover, patchy drizzle and fog in the forecast. Showers for northern areas of New Brunswick, and there, as we move through this evening with those showers, still a risk of some thunderstorms. We'll talk more about that and the forecast a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So it is a big night in Sydney as the Cape Breton Music Industry Hall of Fame prepares to welcome its newest inductees. CTV's Katie Kelly is on the red carpet at Centre 200, and she joins us now with a preview of the star-studded gala. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Maria. Rita McNeil, John Allen Cameron, Matt Minglewood. Those are just some of the Cape Breton royalty that have already been inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Cape Breton. And tonight there are going to be so many more names to add to this list, and I am so excited to tell you all about it. Here with the preview, we have Chair of the Board, Mark Bott. So great to see ya.
Well, it's great to see you too.
Here we are on the red carpet, which is going to be flowing with some amazing Cape Breton talent in just a little bit. I'm so excited to be here, so thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
But if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about the Cape Breton Music Industry Cooperative and just sort of your mission? What do you guys do?
Absolutely. So Cape Breton Music Industry Cooperative, or CB-MIC as we like to be called, is the official music industry association for Cape Breton Island. Atlantic Canada is unique. We have 4 provinces, but we have 5 music regions because of the strength of the musical heritage of this island. So it's our job to represent the music industry right from your starting out amateurs, kids, all the way up to our professional recording and touring artists.
And who is going to be inducted here tonight?
So tonight the inductions are the Rankin family, Bruce Guthro, and Donnie Campbell.
And how did you choose those folks and why?
So we chose those. We have a selection committee that basically created a short list, which was not easy because we have 200 years of musical heritage to go back to. But from that, there was a portion of it that was members' vote. And then we took into account all of the public feedback and then created basically our induction list.
And is it true you have over 60 performers going to hit the stage tonight?
Absolutely. Well, to be fair, I think the Men of the Deeps are about 30 of them. But this will be probably the largest locally produced show to happen on Cape Breton Island.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. I know it's all volunteer, so you guys did a great job putting this together. I know it's going to be a fantastic night.
Well, thank you so much. We're really looking forward to it, and thank you for all your help as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, it's so great to meet you, Mark, and have a fantastic night.
Thanks.
I'm going to throw it back to Maria, and Maria, I'll see you back here a little later.
Yes, with some special guests indeed. Thank you, Katie. We'll see you in just a bit. Time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. Still ahead, find out how to win our Shellfish Lovers Getaway Contest. The details are still ahead. And here's a preview of what's coming up next.
Hey, it's Emily from Halifax Seed. Coming up next on the Garden Guide, we'll talk all about how you can attract good insects and deter bad ones.
Celebrating the best of Cape Breton's music industry. Join us at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony June 19th at Centre 200. This year's inductees include Bruce Guthro, the Rankin family, and Donnie Campbell. For details, visit cbmic.ca.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. We are in the garden for the Garden Guide with Emily Trigano from Halifax Seed. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited to talk about this one because this, I think, is going to help a lot of people. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about how to bring good insects to the yard and deter the bad ones.
Okay, so good insects are what?
So anything that's going to pollinate or maybe even eat other insects, like ladybugs eat aphids. So how can we get more ladybugs in the yard? Or, you know, bees we need all the bees and you know, parasitic wasps to help control and pollinate other plants so we get good harvests. So there's some really cool plants that will help to do this for you so you don't have to do any work.
Excellent. Well, start us off. Where do we begin?
Yeah, so I love to put flowers in my vegetable garden. So using some of these beneficial plants in through your vegetable garden, especially around the borders. Marigolds are my favorite to help deter bad insects. I also use cosmos and sweet alyssum. They're really good at bringing in good bugs and getting rid of bad bugs. I will also do things like plant nasturtiums. So I'll plant some climbing nasturtiums as well as some nasturtiums that are going to stay low and be a little bit more mounding. Zinnias are also really great for beneficial insects. And of course, sunflowers. Planting sunflowers are going to be wonderful to help bring birds and bees to the yard. We also have something, so milkweed. Milkweed is that's what the monarch butterflies feed off of. So, you know, put some of that in your yard. And bee balm. Bee balm's really cool because it is going to do a couple things. It's going to bring lots of pollinators like bees to your yard, but it's also going to detract mosquitoes.
Yes.
So if you have...
Those are the bad bugs.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, so if you have mosquitoes, plant things like bee balm, catmint, lemongrass, mint, so just peppermint is wonderful, rosemary. And if you plant these around, you know, doorways where you're sitting on the patio, that can really help to deter bad insects.
So we're talking about insects. We were talking a little bit about ticks earlier too, and you were telling me about a great product.
So Atlantic, I'm sure, you know, this product, it's made right here in Atlantic, Canada, in Nova Scotia. It's wonderful. This is working wonders. We know that Atlantic Canada, especially Nova Scotia, has a massive tick problem. Unfortunately, a lot of the ticks are carrying Lyme. Atlantic is wonderful, and it smells so good.
It does, but you're not spraying that on the plants, just to be clear.
No, spray it on all people. On people. Yes.
On yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it works really well. So right now, not a lot of information for plants to detract ticks, but Atlantic will get that done.
Excellent. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Lots of good tips there. Well, across the Maritimes today, we did see some cloudier conditions, overcast in some areas, like here at Shuby Park in Dartmouth earlier today. Overcast, but on the milder side. I'll have more on the forecast coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us once again in the Weather Center. Kaylin, it looked a little cooler than it was today, although, Kaylin, we'll get to you. We'll get to our contest in just a little bit, right after you do your weather here. Or no, we'll get to it now. Sorry, I completely messed up our order here. How would you like to win a Shellfish Lovers Getaway? We have got a wonderful contest for you here. CTV and the PEI International Shellfish Festival have teamed up for our Shellfish Lovers Getaway contest. One lucky viewer will win 2 festival passes, 2 tickets to Feast and Frolic, 200 shellfish bucks, accommodations, and more. Just go to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts or scan the QR code on your screen right now. You can enter once per day until Saturday at 5, and the winner will be announced on June 27th. There you go. Now you have the details. Okay, Kaylin. As I was saying.
It's okay, Maria. The only thing that's going to be in hot water around here are those shellfish.
That's right. It is. Well, it looked a little cooler, but when I was outside today, I did find it wasn't actually chilly. It was just kind of gray and mild.
Yeah, and if the sun had actually broken through today, we would have really felt a combination of heat and humidity here in the Maritime region. It was cloud cover that actually kept the temperatures down a little bit. But even areas that were sheltered out of that wind around the Atlantic coastline, like Antigonish, for example, which we're looking out here as we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times, felt plenty warm today. Their temperature right now is 24, but with the humidity in the air, it's still feeling closer to 30. That'd be a humidex value combination of both the temperature and the humidity. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure continues to fall a little bit towards the lower side. We have a couple of very slow-moving weather fronts off towards the west of us. Now, these fronts are giving that muggy air a little bit more lift in the proximity of it, and that's why, once again, up around northern areas of New Brunswick as we move through this evening, that's where we're going to have most of our showers, and with those showers, a risk of a downpour or thunderstorm. And it's a similar situation for tomorrow for that part of the Maritimes as well, and we'll see that as we get into our forecast timeline. In the meantime, as we take a look at things on radar. There's that shower activity up around the north of New Brunswick. Now, occasionally, seen some brighter returns on radar. Some of the yellows and the oranges indicating there could be some localized downpours. Not a tremendous amount of lightning yet, but it is within this area that there will continue to be a risk of a thunderstorm as we move through the evening. Taking a look at our timeline then for cloud cover and precipitation. Other parts of the Maritimes as we move through tonight are mostly looking at cloudy conditions with patchy drizzle and fog, and that'll extend into the start of the day for tomorrow. So tomorrow starting off cloudy, foggy, drizzly for many parts of the Maritimes. And then throughout the day, there's expected to be some further rounds of rain and showers up around the north and especially the northwest of New Brunswick. And with those, once again, there will be the risk of some thunderstorms. Now, later Friday evening and Friday night, finally, the entirety of the Maritimes gets on the western side of this weather system. There will be a chance of showers basically region-wide Friday night into early Saturday morning. And then for Saturday, the wind direction is going to be out of the northwest, and there's going to be some less humid air coming into the Maritime region in that northwest wind. So expect the humidity levels to fall for the start of the weekend. For tonight and tomorrow, though, that south wind is going to keep that level of mugginess in place, and the winds actually increase a little bit for Friday. Conditions becoming a little bit more blustery, some of the gusts up between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. The other thing that happens when we have this higher level of humidity in place and that south wind is the overnight low temperatures don't cool off as much. So a little bit more of a stuffy feeling around parts of the region tonight with a lot of lows not expected to be much cooler than around the mid to high teens. There's that risk of thunderstorms up around the north of New Brunswick. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow. Still a little bit cooler around the Bay of Fundy coastline, parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. Once again, that wind a little bit more onshore for those areas. Other locations will have similar high temperatures to today. And that includes the potential for some areas like up around the north shore of Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island to get up towards the mid-20s and likely feeling into the low 30s with the higher level of humidity. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 8-year-old Ariel from Brookhouse Elementary. And Ariel has sent us a drawing of out there swimming on what looks like a sunny and hot summer day. If you would like to send in a weather watcher, they can always come in to CTV Weather Watchers. P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or you can email them to me, kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. Time for another break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, an emotional induction. Bruce Guthro's family joins Katie Kelly at Centre 200, where the late singer will be inducted into the Cape Breton Music Industry Hall of Fame this evening. More from the special ceremony next. Welcome back. So tonight in Sydney, the newest inductees will be welcomed into the Cape Breton Music Industry Hall of Fame, including the late Bruce Guthro. CTV's Katie Kelly is on the red carpet with his family, who are honoring his memory tonight. Katie.
Thank you so much, Maria. And I can't think of many people more beloved than Mr. Bruce Guthro. I am so excited to be here with his family this evening as he gets inducted into the Cape Breton Music Industry Hall of Fame. Kim, Jody, Dylan, so great to see you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Kim, I want to start with you. What would this night mean to Bruce?
Oh my goodness. Bruce has mentored Dylan and Jody his whole life, and I know that he'd be so proud because they're carrying on the legacy that he made for his whole life, and you know they continue to do that with the songwriter circles and events like tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here in Cape Breton. Pretty sure Bruce was a proud Cape Bretoner. What did he say about this place, Dylan?
Well, he flew the Cape Breton flag all over the world, overseas with Run Rig, and every time Jody and I were on stage with him, he would be a very proud Cape Bretoner. So I know he'd be honored to be looking down watching this happen tonight.
What did he like to do when he came home?
Hang out, watch Family Feud and Just for Laughs gags, and then write songs with us. Yeah.
Awesome. Jody, your mom spoke about the legacy that he's left, especially on you two. Growing up watching him, how has that shaped, the musician that you are today?
Oh, it's been everything. It's been everything. Like I said, like growing up, there's home videos of us singing on a coffee table with skipping ropes, and we're singing Dirty Money and old songs of his, and it's shaped us entirely. I think so, yeah. It's had a big impact.
And what is your role here tonight? What are you going to be doing on stage?
I'm just getting up and honoring him. We're going to start off by singing a song of his called Vincent Coleman, and then go into a Run Rig song called Hearts of Olden Glory, and then we're going to stay up for the rest of the set. Yeah.
And you almost didn't make it, but this was something you couldn't miss, eh? Because I know you just got in from Nashville.
I did, yes. So thank you to Smack down in Nashville for arranging my schedule for me to be here. I really didn't want to miss it. Yeah.
Kim, you mentioned the circles. Now, you're not normally in front of the camera. I know that you're more of the behind-the-scenes gal, but you really have been the brains behind so much, and you really have been part of, you know, so much of the puzzle. Continuing these songwriters circles, what has that meant to you?
Oh my goodness. Well, Bruce did the songwriter circles for 20 years. And for us to be able to continue them with Jody and Dylan hosting has just meant the world to me. And I know it would mean the world to Bruce. And also for Bruce's fans, because, you know, he engaged an audience for all of those years. And we're very proud to be able to represent that in the songwriter circles.
And I know you have one coming up. You want to plug that while you're on TV there, Dylan?
Why not? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be hosting one on June 28th. It's myself, Classified. I can't wait to hear him strip down his songs and showcase what a great songwriter he is. We also have Renee Smith. She's been in the circle before. She's incredible. And one of my best buddies in the world, Dave Sampson. So I can't wait. He's a legend.
So end of June, and that's going to be inside the Bruce Guthro Theater at Casino Nova Scotia. So if you don't have tickets, that's definitely one not to miss. And finally, Kim, how do you want Bruce to be remembered, whether it's, you know, as a person or musically?
Oh my goodness, so many ways that he could be remembered. You know, his integrity, his grace, his passion for music. So all of those things, I feel like he will be remembered that way, and is remembered that way by us and his friends, family, and fans as well.
Well said, well said. Well, it's so great to see all of you, Jody, Dylan, Kim. Love you all so much. I am one of the many, many people who loved your dad so much. So congratulations on this induction, and have a fabulous time tonight and in Cape Breton.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you all so much. Back to you, Maria.
Oh, thanks, you guys. And oh my goodness, Kim, Dylan, Jody, thank you for taking some time. What a wonderful honor and a lovely way to remember just
great talent.
Cape Breton royalty, music royalty. Fantastic. We're so fortunate to have known him and to have his music live on. So thank you for that. And coming up at 6 o'clock, Katie will have the one and only Jimmy and Heather Rankin. So stay tuned for that.
And I'll have the ups and downs of humidity over the next few days.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Our news